Hi, everyone. Corey Thorne, spiritual intuitive guide, spiritual healer, and empowerment life coach. I had to just kind of question what I was going to call myself for a moment. I don't know where that came from. Um, I've really been noticing today, and I wasn't going to do a YouTube video today, as it was Remembrance Day, and I was taking some time to actually, I was channeling in earlier to some of the energy of the past and what the people before us have experienced and the challenges of the past, and how it is so important right now that we take time and remind the newer generations, the younger generations, of of the of the things that had been done, the sacrifices, how hard people had to work in the past to have this life that we have now. And yes, I know and I get that we're fighting new battles, and we have challenges that are upon us, upon earth, upon the world, and we're being met with resistance. That's the only way I can put it. We're being met with resistance and fear and angers throughout the world. But it feels as if we take a moment and we step back and we explore what people have done in the past, or how things were handled, how things were dealt with, and we get to know and learn and educate, that we can incorporate some of this into the new ways of making changes. And it's not, I feel as if it's not forgetting the past, or just saying, hey, that was the past, that we're not those people no more, we're not that. But there's so much stories, and there's so much to the stories. And yes, the stories have changed over the years, and I feel like it's the same thing that, if you're someone who follows the Bible, or if you read the Bibles, is that not everyone, the people who have taken the Bibles and they've done revised versions of the Bible, and they've changed it to suit what their interpretation is, that there's so many interpretations of the past, there's so many interpretations of life, and there's so many people that interpret even who you were in the past, or what you were in the past, or you even taking a look back into what your family was and the family stories. And if you speak to everybody in a family, everyone has a different version. And this is the world, is everyone is telling a different version of the same story. And I feel as if right now, more than ever, it is time to almost close your eyes, sit back, and just ask to be seen the truth. Ask to be seen what the world looked like before. And we don't want to go back. And we don't want to bring things back to the way things used to be, because it's already been. We've already lived it. We've already done it. This is about moving forward. And this is about going through, as the portals open today, this is about going through new portholes, about as if we're exploring. I always like to refer, almost like watching Star Trek movies. We're going into the deep space. We're heading into uncharted territory. So why would we want it to look like the past? Or why would we want to take what we've learned from the past and all of this knowledge, and learn from our elders, and learn from those who've walked before us, and take that, and take some of that, take the good of that, and we piece it together with what we're experiencing now, and then we put it together with what a future can look like. And it's ultimately, the universe and the world is all out of our control, because the bigger superpowers, which is not the governments, the bigger superpowers of Earth, God, Mother Earth, all those energies of how Mother Earth will take care of herself, how the energy of the universal consciousness, that big deep space, that multidimensional ways, is going to show us how to live. And once we can sit back, once we can close our eyes, once we can go into that space of allowing ourselves to create a world right now, because what's possible right now is that we find love, compassion, and kindness to stand by each other and stand together as a collective, as we start to be able to experience the changes without anger. And not that anger is not healthy. We have to have some anger, but we don't make change, and change don't happen in a good way when it's the anger that's driving the change. It can be the anger that pushed us to make change happen, but it cannot be the anger that makes the change, because the anger is the things that started things like war. You know, it's I'm pissed off at you. I don't like how you do things. And so F you, we're going to do things this way. And that's the kind of energy that comes from making shit happen, from anger, because we're caught in we get caught in the wormholes, you know, we get caught in the spirals, and then we get caught in creating this illusions of our stories and illusions how we're going to tell our stories. And what I'm feeling as I feel myself going through today and going through this 11-11-11 is that I could almost hear chatter of stories happening. And it just feels as if there's just these chatter of stories, like I'm hearing multi-stories happening all around me. And it's like just as whispers and those chatters. And it's just like, but what's truth? What's truth? What's real? And it's like, let's step into a place of, and it makes me smile. Let's step into this place of, let's sit over here. Let's sit over here in the joy. Let's sit over here in the happiness. Let's sit over here and laugh. Let's sit over here and just sit together and smile and say, you know what? I really want to hear what you have to say. I'm thankful to hear what you have to say. I'm thankful you're here to have this conversation with me. I'm thankful, and I feel blessed that I get to live in this world today. And I feel blessed that I get to experience this. And I feel blessed that this is what life is showing us. And the more that we're sitting there, I feel like that's when we become productive. That's when we start to listen. That's when we're starting to make changes. And that's when change starts to happen. So what resonates as I was going through the past, it's as if it was passing through. It's like, okay, the times are done, but we're going to leave you with what was good. We're going to leave you with what you need that's going to be of value for this next time. We're kind of downloading information that's going to bring peace and love in a world, and that all of our work, all of our life, all of our family stuff, no matter what it is, to heal it, we have to heal it with love. And love starts with us first. And going into that place of self-love, and I've been talking about this for days. I spent months on the whole goddess energy and the feminine energy, and now I feel like it's love. And I know love don't put out fires alone, but love brings the help. Love gathers the people. Love gathers the collective. Love brings in everything that's needed to help put out the fires. And the more that we have the manpower, the more that we have the support, that we have, you know, the ones that are feeding the ground, the ones that are feeding the people, the people on the ground, and the people doing the groundwork and taking care of and showing the love and compassion for people who are suffering and going through so much pain. When we do all of those things, and we do all of those things first, then we make change. Then we make change. And not being selective over who we're going to decide deserves this, or who we're going to decide will be the ones to be rewarded, because there is none of that. It is about, if we're truly going to step up from a place of love, if we're truly going to step up from a place of compassion, we have to also help those who challenge you the most. I have to help lay new foundations, so that we're not saying to those that challenge us the most, well, I'm not doing anything for you because you're that kind of person. What if that kind of person is the exact same child as you are? They're all a child of God, and we are all a child of God. Maybe your kindness, maybe your love, maybe what you show might make the difference for that person, for that society, even for the government. Engaging in those kinds of conversations, engaging in being that kind of person who shows up, being that kind of spiritual teacher, being whatever it may be. When we step up in that light, when we make a choice to now move forward in love and in self-love, of saying, okay, I'm going to heal my angers, and I'm going to heal what I'm going through, and I'm going to bring forth what kind of what kind of knowledge can I bring forward from what I had experienced, from that anger, that's going to make a change that's bigger and that can be productive rather than be more of what we don't want in the world. And so the biggest flames that we're going to ignite are going to be the light within ourselves. And the more of individual lights that light up, the more of those that light up all at once or all around each other, it's like just that, I just see that ripple effect of boom, 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 lights, lights, lights everywhere. And the more that we have that, the more that we're stepping into that, watch how quickly the light will become so big that from a higher place looking down, it looks like one big light. But ultimately, it's all little lights. Because we have done this in the past. And that's the things that they're telling us, that they have made changes. And then we have to add on to that change again, because then the world has changed and then that change is not big enough. So then we got to make bigger changes. And that's where it feels like it's coming from. So that it's not that they did everything wrong and that now we're the ones to pay the price, or we're the ones have to fix it. No, they were doing good things. And there was good things happening. But it wasn't big enough for now. And it's like, so now it has to be something that because even that changed, so something bigger has to come again. And that's what it's been feeling like to me. That's where it feels like as we're starting to take a leap of faith, and as the 11's here, and we're in this beautiful higher vibration today, it's like we're vibrating it from a place of saying, hey, everything has fallen away. Everything has let go. We've been struggling. We've been challenged. We've been met with everything that we can possibly be through. There's a beautiful breath of fresh air. There's an opportunity right now that's really feeling as if it's like saying to us, step up to the plate. Let yourself shine. Let your light shine. Let you be a change. Let you be a change within yourself. Be the change that you want to see happening in the world, and be present with what you're feeling within yourself, and know that the ancestors who have passed before us are also still here in spirit form to help us move forward. And when we start to ignore that there's more than just us humans, and we try to do everything from just a human way, a human base, we get caught up in ego, and we get caught up in that angst, and we get caught up in that anger. And everyone is being called upon now, not just as a spiritual teacher, not just as a spiritual healer, not just as any of that. Everyone, every single person is being called upon because we have been calling out for love, for change, for help, for our surrendering, for whatever it may be. We have been calling out. So now your return is you're being called upon to help be the difference that makes the change. And so whatever is projecting out from you, whatever you're feeling like that, it's just like almost like this golden thread that's like pulling you into, I need to go in this direction. I just feel something is telling me, and I know this is going to be uncomfortable. I know this is going to be challenging, but I need to go this way. Trust that. Trust whatever is pulling you, because you've been sitting back here long enough. So now you've gained the knowledge that you've needed. We've been sitting in the underworld. We've been sitting in our angers. We've been sitting in our fears. We've been sitting there for a while, a few months now. So now let's take this. Let's take this golden light that's being pulled from here, and let's move forward. What else is possible? What else can I give? Where else can I show up? How do I want to be seen? What kind of platform do I want to stand on? What is my soapbox? What can I speak of that's going to come from a beautiful light, or that's going to ignite the beautiful light in me? And just keep reminding yourself of that. What ignites the beautiful light in me? Because we don't want to sit in darkness. We don't want to sit there no more. We have been there. It's time to move forward. And this day, right now, that's upon us, is telling us that this is the higher vibration. This is a This is an opportunity. This is a shift, a change, something that's taking us and moving us from here, where we've been sitting, to here. And we're going this way. And let's go this way. And let's go this way together. Let's go this way as a collective. Let's build ourselves. Let's build ourselves up to build a world that's better, healthier, and well lit up. And you don't have to become angry. You don't have to use your angers to do this. Love will do this. Compassion will do this. And the change will happen. And so I'm pulling a few cards from each deck, or from a couple decks. So I feel as if it's like all these ancestral lineages that are before us are speaking are speaking the same story, but in different languages, different ways. And I just feel like it's just that whole energy of everything coming through, as if say, listen to all the spirits, listen to all that the spirit world in each form has to offer. Our animals, those who walk the earth as humans that have formed into angels, those guides, the ascendant masters, like, Jesus, Mother Mary, those that who walked the earth as healers and people who were about change and transformation, but not in an angry way. Not in an angry way. And if you were to look at the people like that and how they were crucified and tortured for just saying, let's all work together. Let's do everything together. It's like we're past that. We don't need to keep attacking each other. We don't need to keep being in that energy, and we don't need to stay there. Let's just move forward. It's time to co-create with the spirit, and the messengers are speaking up, and the messengers are coming to life. And I feel like the messengers have been squished down for months or for a year. It feels like it's been really being squished down, like trying to kind of, I always say part of it feels like I've been on the Salem witch hunt again. And it's like, it's time to rise above. It's like, no, we can't stay down there. Regardless, you have to speak up and you have to speak out. But not angry, but in a beautiful light. And it's like co-create with spirit. It's that we're flying high. We're in a higher vibration. We're flying high. So if we have the opportunity to work in this higher place, why don't we be of service in the best way we can? Why don't we come from a place that's of such love? And when we know that we're not alone to do this, when we know that there's that we're so surrounded and that we're being so blessed with so much, that we can exude more of that heart-centered healing. And heart-centered healing comes from Jesus. Heart-centered healing comes from people or ascendant masters or guides that always worked in that higher place, that higher realm, and to go there. And so the other card that came out was Otter Spirit. And have you ever noticed otters and how they stay connected like this so they don't lose each other? Why can't we do this as people? And it's time we start to do this as people. And we've all been there. As I speak these messages, they're channeled messages. I've been as human as everyone else, and I have drifted apart, and I've had times when I've drifted away, as have we all. But it's time to come together like this. It's time to bring ourselves back together. And we're being asked to vibrate. We're being asked to vibrate the energy, vibrate the love, vibrate the goddess, feminine strength to the countries, to the places where women have yet to find a voice, or where women are still struggling to come forward, where things are really being challenged there. And it's like, if we vibrate on a higher level of love from here, we are also vibrating that kind of love to there as well. So we're pulling us all together, and we're bringing us all together, so that for those, when we don't know better, we don't do better. Well, now we're starting to know better. And because we now know better, we are going to do better. And we're going to do better in a beautiful way, because it was anger that kind of got us into a lot of the energies that we had been in. And so I just feel, as I see 11, 11, 11, it's almost as if each one of the ones comes apart and forms into the shape of a heart. And all I can see is that this is a day of love. This is a day of remembering those that loved us so much that they believed that sacrificing their life for us is what it would take to bring a better world. And remember that when we're quick to just stand up and judge what was done in the past, that the people at the time only knew what they knew, and they truly believed with all of their heart they were doing for us to save and protect all of us. And that is a sacrifice that was made many a times over, many a ways, in many a countries. And everyone believed they were doing good. And so those hearts are the hearts that feel like are all around us today, forming all around us, and being a part of us to expand out now as they give us the knowledge of knowing it was what they knew then, it was what was needed at that time, and now this is not what we need, and so now we're going to do things a different way, and things will be different. So the next card that I pulled was Elder. As we've been talking about the elders, and it's that moving beyond ancestral patterns. So we're going to take the old, we're going to take what we've even learned in our native ways, and I know the struggles that us from the Mi'kmaq First Nations, like us that have been stripped of our treaty cards, that we've been taken off the so-called human list of who we are, and those, and our ancestors are saying, let's do things a better way. Let's come together as a collective. All of those type of things, and all of those learning, and us that are, passed down generations of healing abilities that have been given to us, that say, okay, you are the new light. So show the world with what we have given you, what we have blessed you with, and what you are now receiving now. What, as you are a modern day, as you are here, what have you been downloaded with that's going to be valuable with what myself as an elder, what coming forward is what they have given us with what we have now, and how we can even show up as even better healers, or even more knowledgeable with a more open mind and a more knowledgeable way. It's like we're just going to create those new patterns and live those new lives, and we're going to use the old mixed with the new to be a much better place. And then know that those elders are handing us their staffs, they're handing us their light, they're handing us their hearts. They're handing us their hearts to trust, to know that we will do the things that need to be done in the most beautiful way. And then the other card was trust, and these are Kyle Gray cards. Father Sky, trust in the unknown. We don't know what it's going to look like, and we don't know what the new world, and we don't know what our new life, we don't know what our new tomorrow is going to look like, whether it's personal, whether it's bigger, whether it's a business venture, whether it's political, we don't know. We have no idea. All we know is to keep holding on to the faith, the trust, the patience, and have hope, because hope is the fuel that keeps the light going, that keeps spreading the light, that keeps the flame alive that's inside of us all, and it keeps the sky lit. And our path will show its way, our life will show its way, and we will be challenged always, there's no doubt. But we will be given all that we need to provide us with the directions that we're going to be taking. And if you find yourself right now, if you find yourself being so excited today very happy. Like, I bounced out of bed this morning. I was so happy for the day. And I had all these big plans, and I worked this morning, but I had all these big plans of what I was going to do and what was going to happen today. And it was like everything just went, just fizzled down. But my energy inside of me stayed very alive. And I'm like, what is going on? And it was just this sense that, okay, sit with all that you have been creating. Sit with everything that you have been doing. Let us take out this stuff now. Let us remove the things that are kind of still clouding over and blocking that heart center, that love, that energy that you now need, that energy that I now need as a human, and the energy that I need in being connected to my spirit and to my higher self and into the spirit world, to be guided into that next phase of the life that's going to be happening and taking place for me. And so I just let go. I laid on the couch and I did some meditating, and like I said, I went back to the past. I started to see all these things starting to take place. I'm like, okay. You're preparing. Today, you're being prepared. So allow yourself to be prepared for what will come, for the days that'll pass. Because the portal's open, it doesn't mean you're supposed to go full bore. It's like, I better get everything done today. It don't all need to be done today. And the card that comes out from the Mother Mary deck, hope. Hope will light our way. Hold on to the hope. Hold on to the faith. Let go of what doesn't serve us. And know that we will take from the past what is needed, take the knowledge that we're being given today, and we will move forward in a more beautiful light with love, prayers, trust, faith, and most of all, hope. Do not lose your hope, even if you're being challenged still. Stay optimistic. Can't make this up. These cards are just falling out. Stay optimistic as we come together as a collective, as we marriage together, as we come together as a collective of love and light, and not anger and fear, to bring forth what is needed next in our world, and finding in our heart forgiveness, because we do not want to take the old with us. This is all of the 111s forming together in the shape of a heart, in the shape of a light, knowing that we are blessed. Look at your, take the rest, take some time tonight, and really, as you're going to bed, or as you're doing your night prayers or your nightly meditations, whatever it may be, look at the blessings that have already been handed to you. Look at the things that those of the past had sacrificed and done for us, so that we could live this life that we live now, that we could live the freedom that we have if we live in a place where we are free. And that, especially, we look at us as women, the freedom we have, and we may still have things of the past that we have been working through, and we're still getting there, but we are free. And we're free to have these voices to be able to stand up. And the same thing with our political. We have a voice to stand up, and to be that we're blessed to have that voice, that we can have a say. And there's places where you don't get a say. And know that as we're moving forward, and as you're looking at your gratitude list of the things that you've already had great show up in your life. So if you feel like God has taken, nothing good has ever happened to me, I have nothing good, things don't ever happen, sit back and look at what you have had, and look at the light. And the one thing that you've always had is you. And if you have felt as if you've been alone, and that you've had no love, and there's been no love, the one thing I can guarantee you is you arrived here of pure love. And you arrived here so loved that there was no other love upon this earth that could ever compare to that. And that never left you. And God don't wait for you to prove that you're worthy. God consciousness does not wait for you to prove that you're worthy to love you. That's a human taught thing. You are loved regardless, and everyone is loved regardless. You're doing the things that are for you. So let's teach from a place of love. Let's teach these new generations. Let's teach these children of the things of the past, but also of the things that we know now, and to bring forth healthier generations, beautiful light, as we all step forward in our light. I send you love and prayers of a beautiful life, and that you find your heart-centered love for you and for whatever it is today that you start to see come to life, for the life that you want, to start manifesting the life that you want, and putting it out into the universe that I'm ready. I'm ready for this life. I'm ready to move forward in this new world, this new life, this new job, this new career, whatever it may be. You're ready. And you were never not ready. You just couldn't see through the thickness of the shadow self that was sitting present. And as you move past that, and the true self of so many of us start to move around, as the true self that starts to come around, the shadow self starts to come to life, that we are now stepping into a light of, as my book says, of more than existing. You are ready to live a life. We are ready as a collective. We're ready as a world to start to live a life that's more than existing. What are you going to do for yourself? How are you going to show up to live a life that allows your light to shine, that is more than existing? Thank you so much. Much love to you all. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you all tomorrow on my live. Bye-bye. Love you all.